Are you in the market for a boat? I understand it's not really realistic to think that everybody can buy a boat off the showroom floor. But my question is, have you considered a used boat? Before you make that purchase, there's a few things that you want to think about when you buy your first boat. First of all, it's not the money. You would think the money would be the first thing that you think about, but it's not really that. What are you going to use the boat for? Think about if it's going to be used for fishing. Is it going to be used for family? Maybe you're even going to use your boat for work. But you want to get very clear on what you're going to use the boat for and how often you plan to use it. Second, I think as a sleeper, is the tow capacity of your vehicle. How in the world are you going to get this boat from your house to the water? That's very important. You don't want to exceed the tow capacity of the vehicle that you currently own. It's just going to cause a lot of strain and stress on the drivetrain of that. And also, it's not all about pulling the boat, but being able to stop it. You want to make sure your tow capacity of your vehicle is congruent with the size boat that you buy. Another very, very crucial thing to consider is where you're going to keep your boat. Do you have enough storage in your garage? Do you need to build an attached garage? Do you have a shed? Leaving a boat out in the weather is the quickest way to ruin your investment. So make sure you've got a good place to keep that boat. And then lastly, for sure it's the budget. We definitely want to stay within our budget when we're buying a boat, because if we have to work all the time to buy the boat and we don't have time to use it, we're defeating the purpose of owning a boat in the first place. So what exactly are the advantages of buying a used boat? For me, number one is just the cost. The boat that I own here behind me, if I were to try to buy that brand new off the showroom floor, it would be well into the 6 digits. Saving $70,000 to $80,000 on a used boat was my number one motivation for this. I know this is a boat that I'm not going to use all season long, so having a boat where I can reduce the cost, because I know going into it that I'm not going to use it every week all year long, was a big determining factor for me. The other thing I like about buying a used boat is sometimes you just have this sense of pride of taking something that's rough and turning it into your project. When you buy a boat off the showroom floor, it comes exactly how you're going to use it. But when you take a boat that maybe needs a little bit of work, you put a little bit of elbow grease into it, there's a sense of pride that comes with knowing that that boat is something that you created and that you made special. That's the other advantage in owning a used boat. So I've had quite a bit of experience buying used boats over the years. This is my most recent purchase. This is my used bay boat. This is a Pathfinder 2200, a 2002 model, 22 years old. Let me tell you what I bought it for. This is something I know I'm not going to use all the time. This is a boat that I use for saltwater fishing. I'm mainly a freshwater fisherman. I fish tournaments and I also just fun fish around the house. But during the fall time and in the off season, I love to go to the coast and saltwater fish. That's my hobby. So I needed a boat that I could use for that. Secondly, I like to take my kids to the water. We like to go tubing, we like to go fishing, and I've got 3 of them. So carrying 3 kids in my bass boat is not the best option. Having somewhere where we've got room to move around, we take the bean bags, we take the tubes, we go out to eat, we sightsee out of this boat here. So I wanted something that's big and spacious and that could take the rough water. This boat fits all of those very well. Has the room, it rides well, it's a great boat to play out of. But anytime you buy a 22-year-old boat, there's always going to be a few upgrades that you need to make. And I'll show you a few of the things that I had to do to this boat to bring it to where I wanted it to be, so we can be safe, so we can enjoy our time on the water. If you're the kind of guy that likes to fix things, a used boat is probably going to be your best option anyway. One of the things that I did first when I got this boat was I did a repower. This boat did have an older engine on it, and I knew when I looked at the boat, I knew it had the shape, I knew it had the platform that I wanted, but I knew I wanted to do a repower. So I chose the repower with the Mercury Pro XS 150. Has plenty of power for this boat and it's very fuel efficient. Since we're using this boat for fishing, I definitely had to upgrade the trolling motor. Since I take it to saltwater, I also had to have a trolling motor that was compatible with saltwater fishing. This is the Motor Guide XI3. This is a 70-pound thrust, 24 volt. This is a perfect upgrade for this boat when we go saltwater fishing for trout and redfish. It's really quiet, it has enough power. And sometimes I just put it on anchor mode and just leave it out in the middle of the lake when we're swimming. You can use it for a lot of different options, but having a good trolling motor is absolutely essential when you're buying a used boat. One thing you don't want to let scare you when you're buying a used boat, especially one as old as this, is minor blemishes on the gel coat. Believe it or not, gel coat is very durable. It's a thick paint, and so it can be fixed pretty easy. A lot of gel coat issues can be fixed with a little bit of sandpaper, a little bit of polish, and some elbow grease. One thing I don't think we think about when we're buying a used boat is the trailer maintenance. The trailer is the most important part that you got on your boat other than your engine. When you have trailer issues on the way to the lake or coming back home from the lake, it can absolutely ruin your trip. So I decided to do some upgrades on the trailer. I decided to, number one, upgrade the wheels, mainly because it looks good. I'm not even gonna lie, but I also went with a 10-ply tire. With this boat, I carry it long distances. We go to the beach with it. So knowing that I'm gonna be on the road a lot, I wanted really, really good tires. I upgraded the leaf springs and I put brand new bearings on the hubs. That way I can eliminate every issue that I possibly can before I even get to the water. I'm here to tell you, you can buy a used boat with confidence. You can just do a few upgrades, give it a little bit of love and care. You can take a boat like this and do everything that you want to do, no matter if that's fishing, if that's playing with your family. A used boat is a good idea if you want to save a few bucks and have something you're really proud of that you made your own.